Welcome back to another episode of Side Tangents. It's your boy Jared.
Excuse me, I already messed up. Finally, I'm all alone. I said to myself as I sat in my bedroom at midnight. No, you're not, said Knife Guy.
How long were you thinking of this bit?
A while.
That was good. That was a beautiful opening. Well done. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another. Wait, I introduced ourselves already, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sorry, I threw you off.
Yeah, you threw me off a little bit.
I'm Parker.
Welcome back to.
You've done it a third time. You're in a logic loop.
Yeah.
It's a Halloween special.
Things are spooky. Yeah,
things are spooky.
This is the Halloween special of Side Tangent. We're getting really spooky up in here. As you can tell, I am a dragon and Parker is a unicorn. Are you a specific unicorn from a specific show?
You told me it's yours. Wonder Drop is my name, and bestowing gifts on blind children is my game.
I'm Garrett the dragon.
Nice.
Yeah. Parker, how's it going, man?
It's going great. It's getting colder. Yeah, I'm getting to wear sweaters, which is my favorite thing to wear. You
look good in sweaters.
Thank you.
Parker has this one sweater that it makes him look like Chris Evans from Knives Out.
Yeah, it's like the same sweater.
Yeah. You look good, dude.
Suddenly I start being more rude to people, and it's great.
And killing your dad.
And killing my dad.
Okay. In preparation for Halloween, Parker, I have a question for you. What are some of your favorite Halloween costumes that you've ever worn and the end that you've ever seen?
I liked as a kid wearing ninja costumes. I was a
ninja one year too.
Yeah, it was lame because we couldn't wear the mask, which is the fun part. But it was
like at school.
Yeah, so
that was a weird rule. They no masks.
But it was fun because during recess, most ninja costumes either were they were mostly black, but then you either had red or gold or blue undertones. Right. So all the kids dressed as ninjas would gather in groups based on what colors they had, and we'd have a fight.
What does the fight mean?
Well, I mean, mostly
LARPing, pretty much.
I mean, half LARPing, half actually shoving kids down.
One kid
ninja pushing, shoving someone down.
One kid committed seppuku.
I failed you. That was fun. The best costume I've seen is someone dressed as a Dune Fremen, and then their spouse, their partner, dressed up as a worm. So they're just like a giant worm.
Oh! I haven't seen Dune, so I didn't know.
I keep forgetting, you peasant. It's
all right,
okay.
man.
It's okay. But there's worms in it.
You never yelled at me before.
I
do know the worms, yeah. And I use context clues when you said Doom Fremen, but I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's just, I don't know. Okay, a person from Dune, and then the other person dressed up as
That's a good one.
A worm.
It's a good one. My favorite is, and you wouldn't know this because I know you don't watch football, but there was a famous Polynesian football player named Troy Polamalu, and he was the icon for those of us Polynesian kids growing up. Is everyone wanted to be Troy. And so he's very you guys see him. He's in shampoo commercials. He's in the Head and Shoulders shampoo commercial, but he has really luscious, long, curly hair. And he when he played, he had the long hair. And so I dressed up as him one year, and I had a wig and I had his jersey on. And then another year I went as do you know the Jabberwockies? The dance group. Yeah. Me and my brother dressed up as them. We can't dance, so it was very awkward.
You can dance better than me.
But the best costume I've ever seen. This girl. Growing up it was a church dance, and it was a Halloween church dance, and she dressed up as a takeout container of Panda Express chow mein, but it was realistic. It looked like chow mein. She looked like someone took Wumbo and shrunk all of us, and only the chow mein was regular size.
I don't know if I like that.
That was probably the best costume I've ever
upsetting,
seen.
But in a cool way.
Yeah. Spooky times coming upon us.
Times.
By the time I'm feeling this, about a week and a half away from Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Spooky.
I think it should also be said that both you and I don't like spooky stuff and get scared very easily.
Yes. You didn't go with us to one of the haunted houses here.
I've only been to one haunted house once in my whole life.
And that was when you were dating your wife, right?
That's when I was dating my wife. The Things You Do for Love. Hated every second of it.
Yeah, which one did you guys go to?
I don't even remember. It might have been the Haunted Forest that's here. I don't
Oh,
know.
gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I went to Fear Factory a couple of times.
Oh, I would never. I would never.
And I don't know if you remember, so we went with a group of friends, but I know you weren't there, but there was one of our friends worked there, and so they hooked us up with the necklaces that tell the workers that they can touch you.
That's not a
Well,
hookup.
I was fine. Because apparently, and this is kind of creepy, I felt like the workers were intentionally like touching our female friends that were there more than, and part of it could have been too. I feel bad because I ruined it for our friend Brady. Shout out Brady, because he was in front of me and I was behind him, just cussing up a storm. Because the scariest one, the one that got me the most, was that there was a strobe light. And there was a guy sitting in a chair, and then the next thing I knew, the guy's hand was in my face. And do you want to know what words I said? No, I'm kidding. But we do not handle scary very well.
No.
And speaking of things we do for love, my wife dragged me to go watch the new scary movie. Well, it's not new now, but Weapons, which just came out, which is made by the director that made Barbarian, which I know you haven't seen that one either.
No, but I know the plot of both of these now.
Yeah.
And they both sound incredibly disturbing.
Yeah, so up until this point, so my wife also dragged me to watch Longlegs last year. And Longlegs was by far the scariest movie I've ever seen. Longlegs was like the most unsettling, creepy looking thing ever. I mean, if you haven't seen what he looks like, look it up. And it's funny when you look. Have you seen a picture of him?
No, isn't it just Nicolas Cage?
Yeah, it honestly,
which is terrifying enough.
Well, I was really just watching The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. I thought it was Longlegs, but
National Treasure.
No, Longlegs is just, it was unsettling, and this is me being a movie critic at this point right now. But it was very he was very scary, and you should look it up. But my biggest problem is that out of nowhere they kind of made it satanic, and I was kind of disappointed by that. And I thought it was going to be more like Longlegs was a serial killer or something like that. Then we watched Weapons, and it was not even it blew Longlegs out of the water. I would watch Longlegs as a comedy now because that's how scary Weapons was to me.
Really. Also, Longlegs looks scary.
Yeah, from what I saw.
What the heck? I can't even tell that it's.
Yeah, the people are saying that because the time frame when the movie takes place, it's I think it's in the 80s. It was the time when rock was emerging, and so they're saying that Longlegs was a washed up rock artist that got a lot of plastic surgery and then just botched surgeries that turned him into what he looks like now.
Interesting.
Yeah, that thing used to haunt my dreams, but then when you get a chance, look up Aunt Gladys from Weapons, and it's even worse, dude. It is the scariest movie. But now it's funny because I thought Longlegs, looking back on it, I thought the story was okay. Yeah.
No, I've seen enough.
Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil the story at all because I don't really want to talk about the story. It's very unsettling. It was not what I thought it was going to be, babies. And it probably has the most gory scene I have ever seen in a movie by far. But after reflecting over multiple months, my wife tried to get me to watch Barbarian. She tries to get me to go watch other horror movies, but nope, Weapons is done. It's the last one. Objectively, a fantastic movie.
Sure.
Yeah, looking outside of the horror movies, but I started to appreciate, I'm starting to understand why a lot of people like horror movies. The movie theater experience itself is very exciting. There was a certain part in Weapons which, for those who've seen it, it's the car door scene.
Oh, yeah, you told me.
And I told you a little bit about it, but the minute that car door opened, the simultaneous you could feel it. It was the environment is tangible when watching horror movies. I still don't enjoy it, but I appreciate it.
Sure.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's okay. My wife started watching an anime show with me. She started watching To Be Hero X because as a payout for watching Weapons. So we're even. Honestly, I think it was so scary that maybe I've gotten a little desensitized towards some of these other horror movies. I'm not going to test that theory, but what's the scariest movie you've watched?
The Woman in Black.
I haven't seen that one.
It's not, from what I understand, it's very baby. No, it's not that scary.
That's a comedy movie.
It's just Harry Potter running around being a taxman, and then occasionally a lady shows up. I don't do well with horror movies. I've seen so few.
I've tried to just come up and talk to you at work, and you jump.
That is true. I'm very jumpy, but the thing also with me is that it stays with me. But here's another problem. I don't like horror movies, but I do peruse horror games often. But that still has the same effect, right? Like, I'm awake for nights at a time, but I think for me, just like the fact that I'm the one making the poor decision, besides watching someone else do it, I can like take it a bit more. But again, I'm so bad with horror that even Lethal Company, I'm just like miserable the whole time, just like, I hope I get killed soon so I can leave this torture. I get scared easily.
Ah, dang it. Ah, that's so embarrassing. Well, you have something for me.
So we both get scared easily. I obviously don't like horror movies and stuff, but something I did like was during recess. This is a very nostalgic episode for some reason. During recess, we would.
Well, things are scarier when you're a kid.
Things are scary.
Things that scare me now are just like failing at life.
Yeah.
Which I would take being a kid over many days.
That's fair. But during recess, we would exchange scary stories. And also our English teachers loved, I don't know if any listeners or viewers, I feel like a lot of spooky stories that our English teachers told us at school were cool, but also probably not age appropriate. But I'm glad they told it to us. And so
Real quick, do you think it's like there's like a weird kind of adult that just, I feel like they just like terrorizing children in like the most appropriate way possible.
Yeah, but I also think that kids like scary stuff. Like specifically stuff where I don't know how to describe it, but like Gravity Falls. I feel like some certain episodes could be described as kind of like horror for kids. Or Coraline or stuff like that. There's like this weird subsection. Either way.
I'm thinking about it. Like if I was as an adult sitting at a campfire and someone jumped up and scared me, I think I'd be a little pissed.
But
as a kid, you would laugh.
Yeah.
Or maybe cry, depending on...
Maybe a bit of both.
Okay. Anyways, keep going. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Either way, I just have some of my favorite short stories, spooky short stories, and we're gonna tell them. A lot of these are very well known. I think the first one you might already know.
Okay.
But we'll just go through with them and see how it goes.
Hit me.
Okay, the first one is an old classic by Edgar Allan Poe, The Cask of Amontillado. And I'm probably going to butcher all of these pronunciations, so I'm so sorry, because they're Italian. Okay, The Cask of Amontillado. Do you know this one?
No.
Okay. I'm going to just read verbatim. You can interrupt
Unless
me
you
whenever.
butchered the name that bad. I've never heard that name before.
Okay. Fortunato had hurt me 1,000 times, and I had suffered quietly. But then I learned that he had laughed at my proud name, Montresor, the name of an old and honored family. I promised myself that I would make him pay for this, that I would have revenge.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. We should also have like spooky music.
I'm already ahead of you.
Okay.
Well, not
Future
really.
Jared.
Yeah.
Do that.
Future Jared knows.
Yeah. But not when I start the story, but when I tell him that, and now it's going. You must not suppose, however.
So wait, you're saying cut off the music right when you like jump in and like
don't play.
Like the music was playing until I just interrupted right now, and then now it's like normal. Okay,
and then when I start going again,
cool.
yeah, okay.
Great editing points.
Okay. You must not suppose, however, that I spoke of this to anyone. I would make him pay, yes, but I would act only with the greatest care. I must not suffer as a result of taking my revenge. A wrong is not made right in that manner, and also the wrong would not be made right unless Fortunato knew that he was paying and knew who was forcing him to pay. I gave Fortunato no cause to doubt me. I continued to smile in his face, and he did not understand that I was now smiling at the thought of what I planned for him, as the thought of my revenge. Fortunato was a strong man, a man to be feared, but he had one great weakness. He liked to drink good wine, and indeed he drank much of it. So he knew a lot about fine wines, and proudly believed that he was a trained judge of them. I too knew old wines well, and I bought the best I could find, and wine would give me my revenge. Reminds me of Albuquerque, 2005. Anyways, it was almost dark one evening in the spring.
What? Were you just trying to make a joke like you had a pass with wine in Albuquerque? Was that the joke, Parker?
That was the joke.
It's a dumb joke, Parker.
I know. It was almost dark.
It's not your best work.
I know. It was almost dark one evening in the spring when I met Fortunato in the street, alone. He spoke to me more warmly than was usual, for already he had drunk more wine than was good for him. I acted pleased to see him, and I shook his hand as if he had been my closest friend. Fortunato, how are you? Montresor, good evening, my friend. I think good Italian accents, I know. My dear Fortunato.
It's me, Fortunato.
Hey, my dear Fortunato.
It's my pal, Fortunato.
Hey. I am indeed glad that I have met you. I was just thinking of you. For I have tasted my new wine. I have bought a full cask of a fine wine, which they tell me is Amontillado, but Amontillado, quite impossible. I know it does not seem possible, as I cannot find you. I was just going to talk to Luciezzi. Did I do that? Yeah, Luciezzi. As if anyone understands wine, it's Luciezzi. He will tell me, Luciezzi, he doesn't know one wine from another. But they say he knows as much about wines as you do. Ha! Come, let us go. Go where? To your vaults, to taste the wine. No, my friend, no. I can see that you are not well, and the vaults are cold and wet. I do not care. Let us go. I am well enough. The cold is nothing. Amontillado. Someone is playing games with you. And Luciezzi knows nothing about wines. Nothing at all. As he spoke, Fortunato took my arm, and I allowed him to hurry me to my great stone palace, where my family, the Montresors, had lived for centuries. There was no one at home. I had told the servants that they must not leave the palace, as I would not return until the following morning, and they must care for the place. This, I knew, was enough to make certain that they would all leave as soon as my back was turned. I took down from their places on the wall 2 brightly burning lights. I gave one of these to Fortunato and led him to a wide doorway. There we could see the stone steps going down into the darkness. Asking him to be careful as he followed, I went down before him, down under the ground, deep under the old walls of my palace. We came finally to the bottom of the steps and stood there a moment together. The earth which formed the floor was cold and hard. We were entering the last resting place of the dead of the Montresor family. Here too we kept our finest wines, here in the cool, dark, still air of the ground. Can you imagine having a family cemetery and that's also where you keep your cold storage? There's grandma and there's my cheese.
This is a little different. In Samoa, it's customary, people, first of all, they have above ground burials, and so they just kind of have little tombs and stuff. But just out in the front yard of your house and stuff. So a lot of people just have, grandma, grandpa just in the front house. Now, that's not nearly as terrifying as the same place. Like we're filming right now in my basement. I'm just imagining if there's just a tomb next to us.
Or several floors underneath where we are now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I don't get claustrophobic, but in a catacomb, I feel like I would get claustrophobic.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm claustrophobic above ground. I can't even. I've been in a cave one time, a crawling cave. I almost passed out.
So imagine that, but with Italian skeletons.
Oh, almost worse, the Italian or the skeleton. Oh, it's just a skeleton. Just, hey. No, not an Italian skeleton.
Oh no. Okay. In a catacomb.
Okay.
Fortunato's step was not sure because of the wine he had been drinking. He looked uncertainly about him, trying to see through the thick darkness which pushed in around us. Here our brightly burning lights seemed weak indeed, but our eyes soon became used to the darkness. We could see the bones of the dead lying in large piles along the walls. The stones of the walls were wet and cold. From the long rows of bottles which were lying on the floor among the bones, I chose one which contained a very good wine. Since I did not have anything to open the bottle with, I struck the stone wall with it, and broke off the small end. I offered the bottle to Fortunato. Here, Fortunato, drink some of this fine Medoc. I think I said that right. I don't know. It will help to keep us warm. Drink. Thank you, my friend. I drink to the dead who lie sleeping around us. And I, Fortunato, I drink to your long life. A fine wine indeed. but the Amontillado, it is farther down. Oh. We walked on for some time. We were under the river's bed, and water fell in drops from above us. Deeper into the ground we went, past still more bones. Your vaults are many and large. There seems to be no end to them. We are a great family and an old one. It is not far now, but I can see you are trembling with the cold. Come, let us go back before it is too late. It is nothing. Let us go on, but first another drink of your Medoc. I took up from among the bones another bottle. It was another wine of fine quality, a de Grave. Again I broke off the neck of the bottle. Fortunato took it and drank it all without stopping for a breath. He laughed and threw the empty bottle over his shoulder. We went on deeper and deeper into the earth. Finally we arrived at a vault in which the air was so old and heavy that our lights almost died. Against 3 of the walls were piles of bones, higher than our heads. For the 4th wall, someone had pulled down all the bones, and they were spread all around us on the ground. In the middle of the wall was an opening into another vault, if I can call it that. A little room about 3 feet wide, 6 or 7 feet high, and perhaps 4 feet deep. It was hardly more than a hole in the wall. Go on, I said, go on. The Amontillado was in there. Fortunato continued to go forward, uncertainly. I followed him immediately. Soon, of course, he reached the back wall. He stood there a moment, facing the wall, surprised and wondering. In that wall were 2 heavy iron rings. A short chain was hanging from one of these, and a lock from the other. Before Fortunato could guess what was happening, I closed the lock and chained him tightly to the wall. I stepped back. Fortunato, I said, put your hand against the wall. You must feel how the water runs over it. Once more I ask you, please, will you not go back? No? If not, then I must leave you. But first I must do everything I can for you. But the Amontillado! Ah, yes. Yes, indeed, the Amontillado. As I spoke the words, I began to search among the bones. Throwing them to one side, I found the stones, which earlier I had taken down from the wall. Quickly I began to build the wall again, covering the hole where Fortunato stood trembling. Montresor, what are you doing? I continued working. I could hear him pulling at the chains, shaking it wildly. Only a few stones remained to put in their place. Montresor, ha ha! This is a very good joke indeed. Many times will we laugh about it, ha ha, as we drink our wine together, ha ha. Of course, as we drink the Amontillado. But it is not too late. Should we not be going back? They will be expecting us. Let us go. Yes, let us go. And as I said this, I lifted the last stone from the ground. Montresor, for the love of God! Yes, for the love of God. I heard no answer. Fortunato, I cried. Fortunato! I heard only a soft, low sound, a half cry of fear. My heart grew sick. It must have been the cold. I hurried to force the last stone into the position, and I put the old bones again in a pile against the wall. For half a century now, no human hand has touched them. May he rest in peace.
Whoa. First of all, before we get into the story, bro, your reading is a fantastic. Like the voice, the way you emphasize certain words and the sound effects, dude. I feel like if multiple universes existed, I think this is the only universe you're not an improv actor. Like I think you would have killed it in theater. Like you would have been like Danny Zuko in Grease growing up in middle school.
The problem is I could only play people with speech impediments, but I play them well.
The story. Real quick. Why did Montresor do that? Like, what does he not want?
He just got insulted by Fortunato a lot, so he hates him.
Gotcha.
He hates him so much that he gets him drunk, sneaks him into his catacombs, chains him to a wall, and bricks him up inside the wall. Which is... Yeah, we don't need to get into this. Does that mean something bad? Well, we'll cut it out.
I'm not.
No. Does it mean you poop your pants?
I'll tell you after because I can't explain it. It won't be family friendly.
Oh man. Maybe
that is so funny.
Well, that was poor. No, we'll cut it out.
Yeah, that's really dark. I mean, it's Edgar Allan Poe, right? He wrote that one. Is this the Catacombs one you were telling me about?
That is the Catacombs.
Yeah, that's dark. That is dark. Yeah, that is dark. I'm more like if you ever did that to me, I'd be really pissed. That's what I'm thinking about right now. Like, if Parker ever,
I'd be pretty bothered. Like,
yeah, I'd be kind of, I'd be kind of annoyed. We would have to talk about it.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, we'll talk about it as I'm walking away. Yeah,
yeah. Just keep talking about it. Just keep the episode going. Just internal, just the infinite episode. It's like Schrodinger's Fortunato. You don't know if he's dead or not until you.
That's a great point. You don't.
Yeah. So he can still be there right now, waiting for that wine.
Yeah.
It was funny because him being a wine aficionado.
That's a good word.
Thank you. I've been dying to use it lately. My favorite TikTok, one of my favorite TikTok pages right now is these two dudes, and one of them puts like a bottle of wine in like a sock, and they pour it in for their friend, and then they have to like look at the wine, smell it, drink it, and they have to guess what kind of wine it is or where it's from. Never have gotten it right. They have never gotten it right. Emily thinks it's a bit. I think they're dead serious trying to guess what it's right, and they have never gotten it right. Well, I think people say they have gotten it right before, but it's like every video I've seen, they have not gotten it right. And it's like every time they do it, they're like, "Congrats, guys! 50, like 50 for 50 on the color. Like you got it right. It is wine." It's just like they swirl it in their mouth. They smell it. They swish it around, and they're like, "I'm getting real like almost cherry, like cooked apples, almost like with a little bit of earth." And then they guess it's like an Italian wine, Beurre Blanc or whatever it is. And then there's like, actually, this one's from Argentina, and it's like not even close. And that's why I think Fortunato. I think maybe that his ancestors, like they're descendants of Fortunato.
They could be. They could be.
Anyways, that
if he had kids, but now he's.
Well, maybe he had a kid before he died.
Yeah, he had a kid. We also don't know if he's dead.
Yeah, he can still be alive.
There's no. Yeah. Okay, I have another spooky story for you.
Let's do it. I like it.
I really, really need to piss. This wouldn't be a problem if not for the fact my stupid neighbor Darren, super good. Gosh dang it. Sorry, okay. From the top.
I just like that we're going from like Montiasur, Fortunato, Darren.
Sorry, I shouldn't be blowing. We're going to have to cut that out too.
No.
I really, really need to piss. This wouldn't be a problem if not for the fact my stupid neighbor Darren super glued my urethra shut in my sleep.
I like to imagine this is from Fortunato's point of view. He's just talking to a skeleton next to him because he's going crazy.
I wasn't scared of long hallways. That was until I met the hallway man. So stupid. Okay, the actual next one.
Not the hallway man.
Not the hallway man. Do you remember like kids during recess telling you like spooky stories?
No.
No, well, yeah.
We played a lot of like
we played spin the bottle.
We smoked weed. No, we didn't really tell spooky stories. Also, like I was much more scared as a kid.
That's fine.
What was the first horror movie you ever watched? The first one.
The Woman in Black.
One and only.
Basically.
Mine was Final Destination 2.
I've heard that.
When you said the hallway man earlier, in Final Destination 2, there's a guy. I don't actually remember what. I watched the movie when I was 5, but I think his name was Mr. Hooks, or the Hook Man, or something like that. And these characters. This is all I remember. I haven't actually seen the movie since then, but these characters, they're in an elevator. All of a sudden, the Hook Man walks in with a basket, and he has all these. There's hands in it, and then attached to the hands are a hook, and he's sitting there with this basket of hook hands. And then he grabs like this girl's hair with the hook, and then she falls out of the elevator right before it closes, and then her head gets stuck in the elevator door. What are you smiling for?
Sorry, please continue.
That's the story. And then the hook man kills the lady because
that's
her neck gets crushed by the elevator door.
Do you remember? That reminds me. Do you remember the man with the hook story? I think that's the first scary story I was told.
Peter Pan?
No, it's like
The hash slinging slasher.
I mean, it's kind of. I think it's kind of like that. It's like this classic story where like a guy and a girl are on a date or something, and there's like on the news you hear, on the radio you hear that like some people are, there's like a hooked man out like killing people, and the guy's like wanting to kiss the girl and stuff. He's like, no, I don't feel safe. So he's like, okay. So he just puts the car into drive, and they drive back home. And he gets out of the car, and he goes over to her door to let her in, and there's a hook on the door handle, as if like the guy was right there.
Whoa!
Allow me to read to you the man door hand hook car door story. Okay,
Wait, is this really what you had queued up next?
No.
Oh.
This is spur of the moment. This is a classic, a well-known Reddit, I think, Reddit scary story. A retelling, if you will, of the story I just told you.
Okay.
Pardon. Man and girl go out to drive under moonlight. They stop at one God crap. They stop at one at a side of road. He turned to his girl and say, "Baby, I love you very much." "What is it, honey?" "Our car is broken down. I think the engine is broken. I'll walk and get some more fuel." "Okay, I'll stay here and look after our stereo. There have been news reports of stereos being stolen."
What are you reading normally right now?
I'm reading verbatim.
Okay.
"Good idea. Keep the doors locked no matter what. I love you, sweaty." So the guy left to get full for the car. After 2 hours, the girl said, "Where is my baby? He was supposed to be back by now." Then the girl hear a scratching sound and voice say, "Let me in." The girl doesn't do it, and then after a while, she goes to sleep. The next morning, she wake up and finds her boyfriend still not there. She gets out to check, and man door hand cook car door.
Did a 5-year-old write this? Let's say that last line again.
She goes out to check, and man door hand hook car door. Oh my gosh. I love that story so much.
Oh man.
Man hook car hand door. Oh man.
That's the same guy. That's the same hook guy.
It's the same hook guy from Final Destination. Okay, can I actually tell you?
Yes. Sorry. I've taken this. I derailed this conversation.
No. Well, it's side tangent. So I guess I already have to say, I was going to say that this story I'm about to tell you was the first scary story I was ever told. But now that I think about it, the man hook car hand door, the actual one, was the first one. So this is the first one that another kid told me, not like
Gotcha.
a person. Man, the audio's going to be so bad for this. One night, there was a girl, and her parents left her home alone because they had to go out. They thought she would be okay home alone for one night because she had the dog to protect her. They told her they would be home in the morning, so they left. The girl locked all the doors and windows. What the heck? Okay. Oh yeah, but one was very hard to push down and lock, so the girl left it. She said it'll be fine and went upstairs. She got ready, brushed her teeth, etc. And then she lied down in bed. She put her hand down near the bottom of her bed, and her dog was underneath the bed, and the dog licked her hand. So she knew she was safe. And she went to bed. She woke up around 3 a.m. and heard a dripping sound coming from the bathroom. She shook it off and thought it was the faucet. She told herself that it would need to be fixed. She put her hand down and again let her dog lick her hand. And she went back to sleep knowing she was safe. And again she wakes up like a couple hours later and she heard the dripping again. So she got up to fix it because it was driving her crazy. And when she walked into the bathroom, she saw her skin-dead dog's head hanging in the bathroom with the dog's tongue stabbed against the wall, and written in blood was "humans can lick too."
I don't like that one.
I
don't.
I don't like that one either. That was the first one I was told. And all the other
It's
kids
messed up.
all the other kids at my math table were like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." And then I was just
Yeah, really cool, guys. Really cool.
wiping tears off my eyes. Yeah.
Is that it? Is that all you got for me?
I have two more spooky stories. One's pretty long. What are we at time-wise? Well, it's like, I guess it's only 5 pages. 3 pages.
The freak. I'm kidding. Go ahead. Let's hear
okay.
it. You've been killing it. You're killing it.
Okay, I have two more. The second one is really short. Actually, let me. We'll end with a long one.
Okay.
No, we'll do what I said before. We'll end with a short one.
It's almost like you didn't plan this episode
Indecision.
out very well.
You're
It's
seeing
almost like
indecision.
we've been making up these episodes as we go on the spot.
Okay, so this is The Landlady by Roald Dahl.
Okay.
It's a short, spooky story, he said. Didn't you know he was a British spy?
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he was straight up a spy. He spied on Americans. And he wrote BFG. What
Big
more?
freaking giant.
Big freaking giant. Okay, The Landlady. I love this story.
Okay.
It's a bit of longer, so everyone get in the mood.
Everyone buckle up.
Everyone buckle up. Billy Weaver had traveled down from London on the slow afternoon train, with a charge at Swindon on the way. And by the time he got to Bath, it was about 9 o'clock in the evening, and the moon was coming up out of a clear, starry sky over the houses opposite the station entrance. But the air was deadly cold, and the wind was like a flat blade of ice on his cheeks. "Excuse me," he said, "but is there a fairly cheap hotel not too far away from here?" "Try the Bell and Dragon," the porter answered, pointing down the road. "They might take you in. It's about a quarter of a mile along on the other side." Billy thanked him and picked up his suitcase and set out to walk the quarter mile to the Bell and Dragon. He had never been to Bath before. He didn't know anyone who lived there, but Mr. Greenslade at the head office in London had told him it was a splendid city. "Find your own lodgings," he had said, "and then go along and report to the branch manager as soon as you got yourself settled." Billy was 17 years old. He was wearing a new navy blue overcoat, a new brown Tribby? I don't know what that is. Doesn't matter. Hat and a new brown suit, and he was feeling fine. He walked briskly down the street. He was trying to do everything briskly these days. Briskness, he had decided, was the one common characteristic of all successful businessmen. The big shots up at the head office were absolutely fantastically brisk all the time. They were amazing. So, English countryside, handsome man, 17 years old, full of youth and vigor. What could go wrong? There were no shops on this wide street that he was walking along, only a line of tall houses on each side, all of them identical. They had porches and pillars and 4 or 5 steps going up to their front doors, and it was obvious that once upon a time they had been very swanky residences. But now, even in the darkness, he could see that the paint was peeling from the woodwork on their doors and windows, and that the handsome window, where all at once his eyes, that the handsome white facades were cracked and blotchy from neglect. Suddenly, in a downstairs window that was brightly illuminated by a street lamp not 6 yards away, Billy caught sight of a printed notice propped up against the glass in one of the upper panes. It said bed and breakfast. There was a vase of yellow... I don't know how to say that. Flowers.
Okay.
Yellow flowers.
It just says daisies.
Chrysanthemums.
Oh, yeah, you killed it. Yep,
Sweet.
dude, say Madagascar now. No, kidding.
Tall and beautiful, standing just underneath the notice. He stopped walking. He moved a bit closer. Green curtains, some sort of velvety material, were hanging down on either side of the window. The chrysanthemums looked wonderful besides them. He went right up and peered through the glass into the room, and the first thing he saw was a bright fire burning in the hearth. On the carpet in front of the fire, a pretty little dachshund was curled up asleep, with its nose tucked into its belly. The room itself, so far as he could see in the half-darkness, was filled with pleasant furniture. There was a baby grand piano and a big sofa and several plump armchairs, and in one corner he spotted a large parrot in a cage. Animals were usually a good sign in a place like this, Billy told himself. and all in all, it looked to him as though it would be a pretty decent house to stay in. Certainly would be more comfortable than the Bell and Dragon. On the other hand, a pub would be more congenial than a boarding house. There would be beer and darts in the evenings, and lots of people to talk to, and would probably be a good bit cheaper too. He had stayed a couple of nights in a pub once before, and he had liked it. He had never stayed in any boarding house, and to be perfectly honest, he was a tiny bit frightened of them. The name itself conjured up images of watery cabbage, rapacious landladies, and a powerful smell of kippers in the living room. After dithering about like this in the cold for 2 or 3 minutes, Billy decided that he would walk on and take a look at the Bell and Dragon before making up his mind. He turned to go, and now a queer thing happened to him. He was in the act of stepping back and turning away from the window when all at once his eyes were caught and held in the most peculiar manner, and by the small notice that was there. Bed and breakfast, it said. Bed and breakfast. Bed and breakfast. Bed and breakfast. It's capitalized, I don't know why. It's all uppercase.
I thought it was supposed to, like, the more you said it, the more it sounded like something else. So I'm like, bed and breakfast, bed and breakfast.
No, it just, I don't know. Each word was like a large black eye staring at him through the glass, holding him, compelling him, forcing him to stay where he was, and not to walk away from the house. And the next thing he knew, he was actually moving across from the window to the front door of the house, climbing the steps that led up to it, and reaching for the bell. He pressed the bell. Far away in the back room, he heard it ringing, and then at once, it must have been at once, because he hadn't even had time to take his finger from the bell button, the door swung open, and a woman was standing there. Normally you ring a bell, and you have at least a half-minute's wait before the door opens, but this dame was like a jack-in-the-box. He pressed the bell, and out she popped. It made him jump. Scary. Women and answering the door quickly. Ooh.
They would never.
They would never. She was about 45.
They're too busy holding up this country.
That's also true. I think what you're saying is correct.
It is correct.
Okay.
Women hold up this country.
Okay, that is what you said. I was like, Megan.
Yeah, you thought I was going to say a sexist joke, huh?
I did think.
No.
But
women are the future.
But Jared would never deign so low. She was about 45 or 50 years old, and the moment she saw him, she gave him a warm, welcoming smile. "Please come in," she said pleasantly. She stepped aside, holding the door wide open, and Billy found himself automatically starting forward into the home. The compulsion, or more accurately, the desire to follow after her into that house, was extraordinarily strong. "I saw the notice in the window," he said, holding himself back. "Yes, I know. I was wondering about a room." "It's all ready for you, my dear," she said. She had a round, pink face and very gentle blue eyes. "I was on my way to the Bell and Dragon," Billy told her, "but the notice in your window just happened to catch my eye." "My dear boy," she said, "why don't you come out of the cold?" "How much do you charge?" 5 and 6 pence a night, including breakfast. It was fantastically cheap. It was less than half of what he'd been willing to pay. "If that is too much," she added, "then perhaps I can reduce it just a tiny bit. Do you desire an egg for breakfast? Eggs are expensive at the moment. It would be 6 pence less without the egg." 5 and 6 pence is fine," he answered. "I should very much like to stay here." "I knew you would. Do come in." The Lightbridge ladies.
Oh, heck no, dude.
Oh, heck no. She seemed terribly nice. She looked exactly like the mother of one's best school friend, welcoming one into the house to stay for the Christmas holidays. Billy took off his hat and stepped over the threshold. "Just hang it there," she said, "and let me help you with your coat." There were no other hats or coats in the hall. There were no umbrellas, no walking sticks, nothing. "We have it all to ourselves," she said, smiling at him over her shoulder as she led the way upstairs. "You see, it isn't very often I have the pleasure of taking a visitor into my little nest." The old girl is slightly dotty, Billy told himself, but at 5 and 6 pence a night, who gives a damn about that? "I should have thought you'd be simply swamped with applicants," he said politely. "Oh, I am, my dear, I am, of course I am. But the trouble is, I'm inclined to be just a teeny-weeny bit choosy in particular, if you see what I mean." "Ah, yes. But I'm always ready. Everything is always ready, day and night in this house, just on the off chance that an acceptable young gentleman will come along. And it is such a pleasure, my dear, such a very great pleasure, when now and again I open the door and I see someone standing there who is just exactly right. She was halfway up the stairs, and she paused with one hand on the stairrail, turning her head and smiling down at him with pale lips. Like you, she said.
That gave me chills. That gave me chills just now, I'm not gonna lie. That's very scary.
She added, and her blue eyes traveled slowly all the way down, up and down the length of Billy's body, to his feet and then up again. On the first floor...
Grandma's a freak, dude. What the heck?
On the first floor landing, she said to him, "This floor is mine." They climbed up a second flight. "And this one is all yours," she said. "Here's your room. I do hope you'll like it." She took him into a small but charming front bedroom, switched on the light as she went in. The morning sun comes right in the window, Mr. Perkins. "It is Mr. Perkins, isn't it?" "No," he said. "It's Weaver. Mr. Weaver. How nice. I put a water bottle between the sheets to air them out, Mr. Weaver. It's such a comfort to have a hot water bottle in a strange bed with clean sheets. Don't you agree?" "And you may light the gas fire at any time if you feel chilly." "Thank you," Billy said. "Thank you ever so much." He noticed that the bedspread had been taken off the bed, and that the bedclothes had been neatly turned back to one side, all ready for someone to get in. "I'm so glad you appeared," she said, looking earnestly into his face. "I was beginning to get worried." "That's all right," Billy answered brightly. "You mustn't worry about me." He put his suitcase on the chair and started to open it. Also, little side note, I feel like if I were ever murdered by a crazy person, or like if I was in a dangerous situation, potentially like that, I don't know, maybe it's not dangerous, but if I was in a horror situation like this, I definitely would just like, if someone is polite to me, I feel the compulsion to be polite back. And so just like, as the danger is going around me, I'd be like, "Oh, well, thank you very much. Thank you." And I'd stay because I like being polite. It's a temptation. It's my fatal flaw.
It's like they cooked us, Parker, that's poison food, but they cooked it for us.
Or I'm a frog in a pot. It's like, well, being polite to leave. Let's see. Oh, yeah. "And what about supper, my dear? Did you manage to get anything to eat before you came here?" "I'm not a bit hungry, thank you," he said. "I think I'll just go to bed as soon as possible, because tomorrow I've got to get up rather early and report to the office." "Very well, then. I'll leave you now so that you can unpack. But before you go to bed, would you be kind enough to pop in the sitting room on the ground floor and sign the book? Everyone has to do that because it's the law of the land, and we don't want to go breaking any laws at this stage in the proceedings, do we?" She gave him a little wave of the hand and went quickly out of the room and closed the door. So he needs to sign the guest book.
Okay.
Now, the fact that his landlady appeared to be slightly off her rocker didn't worry Billy in the least. Classic 17.
Billy's an idiot.
Yeah, well, he's 17, so
I wouldn't have done that.
I probably would have. I was not smart at that age. After all, she was not only harmless, there was no question about that, but she was also quite obvious a kind and generous soul. He guessed that she had probably lost a son in the war or something like that, and had never gotten over it. So a few minutes later, after unpacking his suitcase and washing his hands, he trotted downstairs to the ground floor and entered the living room. His landlady wasn't there, but the fire was glowing in the hearth, and the little dachshund was still sleeping in front of it. "I'm a lucky fellow," he thought, rubbing his hands. This is a bit of all right. He found the guest book lying open.
This is a bit of all right.
This is a bit of all right.
All right.
I don't know, it's British. Whatever.
Bit of all right. Let's
bit
do
of
it.
all right. He found the guest book lying open on the piano, so he took out his pen and wrote down his name and address. There were only 2 other entries above his on the page, and as one always does with guest books, he started to read them. One was a Christopher Mulholland from Cardiff. The other was Gregory W. Temple from Bristol. That's funny, he thought suddenly. Christopher Mulholland, it rings a bell. Now, where on earth had he heard that rather unusual name before? Was he a boy at school? No. Was it one of his sister's numerous young men, perhaps? Or a friend of his father's? No, it was any of those. He glanced down again at the book. Christopher Mulholland, 231 Cathedral Road, Cardiff. Gregory W. Temple, 27 Sycamore Drive, Bristol. As a matter of fact, now that he came to think of it, He wasn't at all sure that his second name didn't have almost as much a familiar ring as the first. Gregory Temple, he said aloud, searching his memory. Christopher Mulholland. Such charming boys, a voice behind him answered, and he turned and saw his landlady sailing into the room with a large silver tea tray in her hands. She was holding it well out in front of her, and rather high up, as though the tray were a pair of reins on a frisky horse. They sound somewhat familiar, he said. They do? How interesting. I'm almost positive I heard these names somewhere before. Isn't that queer? Maybe it was in the newspaper. They weren't famous in any way, were they? I mean, famous cricketers or footballers or something like that? Famous, she said, setting the tea tray down on the low table in front of the sofa. Oh no, I don't think they were famous. They were extraordinarily handsome, both of them. I can promise you that. They were tall and young and handsome, my dear, just exactly like you. Once more, Billy glanced down at the book. Look here, he said, noticing the dates. This last entry is over 2 years old. It is? Yes, indeed. And Christopher Mulholland's is nearly a year before that. More than 3 years ago. Dear me, she said, shaking her head and having a dainty little sigh. I would never have thought it. How time does fly away from us, doesn't it, Mr. Wilkins? It's Weaver, Billy said. W-E-A-V-E-R. Oh, of course it is, she said, sitting down on the sofa. How silly of me. I do apologize. In one ear and out the other. That's me, Mr. Weaver. You know something, Billy said? Something that's really quite extraordinary about all of this? No, dear, I don't. Well, you see, both these names, Mulholland and Temple, I not only seem to remember each one of them separately, so to speak, but somehow or another, in some peculiar way, they both appear to be some sort of connection between them, as though they were both famous for the same thing, if you see what I mean. Like Dempsey and Tunney. I'm sorry, I don't know.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Or Churchill and Roosevelt.
I know that one.
I know that one. How amusing, she said. But come over here now, dear, and sit down beside me on the sofa, and I'll give you a nice cup of tea and a ginger biscuit before you go to bed. You really shouldn't bother, Billy said. I didn't mean to do anything like that. He stood by the piano watching her as she fussed about with the cups and saucers. He noticed that she had small, white, quickly moving hands and red fingernails. I'm almost positive it was in the newspaper I saw them, Billy said. I'll think of it in a second, I'm sure I will. There's nothing more tantalizing than a thing like this which lingers just outside the borders of one's memory. He hated to give up. Now wait a minute, he said. Wait just a minute. Mulholland. Christopher Mulholland. Wasn't that the name of the Eton schoolboy who was on a walking tour through West Country and then all of a sudden... Milk, she said? And sugar? Yes, please. And then all of a sudden... Eton schoolboy, she said. Oh no, my dear, that can't possibly be right, because my Mr. Mulholland was certainly not an Eton schoolboy when he came to me. He was Cambridge undergraduate. Come over here now and sit next to me and warm yourself in front of this lovely fire. Come on, your tea's all ready for you. We're on the second to last page.
Okay. I mean, I'm engaged.
I know. I'm just saying, like, the book's almost up.
Okay.
She patted the empty place beside her on the sofa, and she sat there smiling at Billy, waiting for him to come over. He crossed the room slowly and sat down on the edge of the sofa. She placed his teacup on the table in front of him. There we are, she said. How nice and cozy this is, isn't it? Billy started sipping his tea. She did the same. For half a minute or so, neither of them spoke, but Billy knew that she was looking at him. Her body was half turned toward him, and he could feel her eyes resting on his face, watching him over the rim of her teacup. Now and again he caught a whiff of a peculiar smell that seemed to emanate directly from her person. It was not in the least unpleasant, and reminded him... Well, he wasn't quite sure what it reminded him of. Pickled walnuts? New leather? Or was it the corridors of a hospital? Mr. Mulholland was a great one for his tea, she said at length. Never in my life have I seen anyone drink as much tea as dear, sweet Mr. Mulholland. I suppose he left fairly recently, Billy said. He was still puzzling his head about the two names. He was positive that he had seen them in the newspapers, in the headlines. Left, she said, arching her brows. But my dear boy, he never left. He's still here. Mr. Temple is also here. They're on the 3rd floor, both of them together. Billy set down his cup slowly on the table and stared at his landlady. She smiled back at him, and then she put out one of her white hands and patted him comfortingly on the knee. "How old are you, my dear?" she asked. 17. 17, she cries. "Oh, it's the perfect age. Mr. Mulholland was also 17, but I think he was a trifle shorter than you. In fact, I'm sure he was. And his teeth weren't quite so white. You have the most beautiful teeth, Mr. Weaver. Did you know that?" "They're not as good as they look," Billy said. They've got simply masses of fillings in them at the back." Mr. Temple, of course, was a little older, she said, ignoring his remark. "He was actually 28, and yet I would have never guessed it if he hadn't told me in his blah. Whew. We're good.
It's emotional. You're getting emotional. It's okay.
I'm getting excited. Whew. "And yet I never would have guessed it if he hadn't told me. Never in my whole life. There wasn't a blemish on his body." "A what?" Billy said. "His skin was just like a baby's." There was a pause. Billy picked up his teacup and took another sip of his tea. Then he set it down again gently in his saucer. He waited for her to say something else, but she seemed to have lapsed into another one of her silences. He sat there staring straight ahead of him in the far corner of the room, biting his lower lip. "The parrot," he said at least. "You know something? It had me completely fooled when I first saw it through the window of the street. I could have sworn it was alive. Alas, no longer. It's most terribly clever the way it's been done," he said. "It doesn't look in the least bit dead. Who did it?" "I did. You did." "Of course," she said. "And you, of course, have met my little Basil as well." She nodded towards the little dachshund curled up comfortably in front of the fire. Billy looked at it, and suddenly he realized that this animal had at the same time been just as silent and motionless as the parrot. So she stuffed both the parrot and the dog. He put out his hand and touched it gently on top of its back. The back was hard and cold, and when he pushed the hair to one side with his finger, he could see the skin underneath, grayish black and dry and perfectly preserved. "Good gracious me," he said. "How absolutely fascinating." He turned away from the dog and stared with deep admiration at the little woman beside him on the sofa. "It must be awfully difficult to do a thing like that." "Not in the least," she said. "I stuff all my little pets myself, and when they pass away. Will you have another cup of tea?" "No, thank you," Billy said. The tea tasted faintly of bitter almonds, and he didn't much care for it. "You did sign the book, didn't you?" "Oh, yes." "That's good. Because later on, if I happen to forget what you were called, then I can always come down here and look it up. I still do that almost every day with Mr. Mulholland and Mr. Temple," Billy said. "Gregory Temple." "Excuse me asking, but haven't there been any other guests here except them in the last 2 or 3 years?" Holding her teacup high in one hand, inclining her head slightly to the left, she looked at him out of the corners of her eye and gave him another gentle little smile. "No, my dear," she said. "Only you." So she gave him
like poison, right? Because
cyanide. Oh. And she's gonna stuff him.
Oh, and the other two are upstairs.
The other two have been taxidermied. When she finds good specimens, she taxidermies them.
That was unsettling. I didn't like that. It's like a classic Hansel and Gretel little situation going on.
It is like
here.
a classic Hansel and Gretel. I feel like there's so many warning signs, though.
Honestly, Billy's an idiot. He deserved it, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, the door swinging open suddenly.
Yeah.
I would have left.
That's true.
Billy's dumb.
Or the second that she was looking up and down my body, I'd be like...
Stop undressing me with your eyes.
Are you ready for one last?
Let's hear it. Let's end it with a bang.
This one's short. It's a horror comic. I'll just be telling you, reading the text from you, but it's from Bad Space Comics by Scott Bass. These are amazing short stories.
Okay.
I would recommend anyone who likes short, spooky stuff to read some of these. But as a context, it's kind of in the future, and we're looking at an astronaut. I'll even show you the picture of the astronaut.
Oh, whoa. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. Okay. And this story is called The Suit. Even broken, the suit is trying to keep me alive. It extracts water from my urine so I can drink. Sloughed off skin so I can eat. Marches even when I sleep. But it's not enough. I've been walking too long. There's no more energy left in the loop. Pitiless new equations take hold. Sacrifices must be made. So the suit takes my arm. Oxygen, water, protein, energy. It means days more travel. We press on. Then the other arm. Then my legs. Servos guttering, but ultimately the load is lighter. Circuits snake around my brainstem, hijack and simulate the body's functions, freeing up my skin, muscles, organs for ingestion. Tiny machine surgeons, snipping, pruning, eating. Then it starts on my face, my cheeks, my nose, my ears, my tongue. And finally, my eyes. So I never know if we make it home.
Oh. I thought you were going to end with another funny one.
Oh, no, I can.
No. It's too late now. Now I'm depressed. Ugh.
One second, give me a second. I can save this.
Thank you guys for joining us for another episode of Side Tangent. Are you actually looking up one?
Give me like 2 seconds.
I'll talk to the crowd for a little bit. I'll do some crowd work.
Oh, wait, I found it. I found what I wanted.
You guys don't get any crowd work now. You guys missed out.
No, I found it. Okay, I found this one today. Oh boy, I love Mountain Dew, I said, Mountain Dewfully, as I took a sip of the dew of the mountain. I reread the label, and it actually said Mountain Pew. And that was when I was shot in the face and killed by an assassin.
It's like in Phineas and Ferb when Doofenshmirtz is pitching like his movie idea, and then Roger just turns into a werewolf like randomly. He's like, you can't just throw a giant monster. That's lazy writing. Dude, I'm serious, dude. Your storytelling abilities are. I know you were a little nervous and like you stumbled upon a couple of the words, but like the way you tell the story and like once you got going, it's quite a talent.
It wasn't nervousness. It was raw sexual energy. From the stories, of course.
Oh, good. Yeah, I thought it wasn't me in the dragon costume.
Nah. Maybe it was me looking in the mirror in my unicorn costume.
Well, happy holidays, everyone. And by holidays, I mean Halloween. The hollowest of weens.
On this hallowest of weens.
On these hollowest of weens. Drop down in the comments below. What are you guys going as for Halloween this year? Tell us some spooky stories, some two-liners.
Spook us. Be
safe out there if you're trick-or-treating. Or if you're taking your kids trick-or-treating. Parker, any final words for the people?
Don't drink Mountain Pew.
Don't drink Mountain
Pew.
Pew.
Clergyman.
Watch out for the hallway man. Don't go to a sketchy bed and breakfast.
And if you're an astronaut,
don't trust Montessor.
Yeah. Don't drink wine in a catacomb in Italy.
Yeah. Anyways, love you guys. Have a spooky rest of your week. Bye.